Yo, what is up, my friends? It's Steve from Straight Fire Picks. We got your best bets for NFL Saturday on Saturday, December 21st, 2024. We got the Texans versus the Chiefs and the Ravens, or rather the Steelers versus the Ravens. Should be a great day of NFL football. Excited for both of these matchups. If you guys are new to the channel here today, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. We're on the road to 9,000 subscribers. Make sure you guys also check out all of our links down below for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, stuff like that. Other ways to follow us, particularly the Twitter. Mine actually got hacked, so I just restarted the Twitter account rather than the X account. So if you guys want to give us a follow over there for updates and things like that, and also be sure to check out our Discord as well. Still a lot of people in there, so be sure, feel free to check that out. Make sure you guys also drop your favorite pick down below in the comment section. If you guys like your pick included in our comment capper section, just make sure you put a star or an asterisk next to your pick. Include your pick in the video if it hits. Okay, guys, now it's time for a recap from our first NFL video of the season. How did we do? We brought out the broom, baby. We got a 3-0 sweep, and we had some nice plus money in there as well. So 3-0 plus 3.21 units. Absolutely great night there on Thursday Night Football between the Broncos and Chargers. So what do we have? We have Bo Nix over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Got that at plus 145 odds. Now, I was actually told before the game you could actually get that at plus 210 at some places on, I forget the book that it was, but someone was telling me that you can get that, and they commented that. So, yeah, the plus 145, though, was very nice. We cashed that in the first half. That's what we love to see. We love plays like that. We had Joshua Palmer over 29.5 receiving yards. Also sweat-free at 29 at the half. Would have been kind of nasty if he landed at that, but he did get a catch in the second half. Finished with 41 yards. Pretty early in the second half, so that was another easy one. And then the over was pretty much locked up at halftime as well. I believe it was 21-13 at the half. So we had 34 points on the board at the half, so that was pretty much locked up. That cashed easy. The game actually went over 60, I believe, 34-27. So 3 easy plays. That's the way that we like to do it. Nice and easy in the NFL. 3-0 sweep. So hopefully we can replicate that here on Saturday and get another sweep. So without further ado, one last thing. I was going to say our comment capper. Speaking of our comment capper, we had Eric Me, a legend at the channel, calling McConkey over 63.5 receiving yards. He cashed that. Great play there as he finished with over 80. So let's get after today, though, guys. Let's get right into our picks here at number 1. We got Pat Freiermuth over 35.5 receiving yards here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Minus 115 odds on DraftKings, guys. I love this play. You know what I was thinking when I was going through the bets and when I was going through stats? I was like, sometimes we get so locked into stats and stuff like that that we forget to have some type of feel for the game as far as what we actually think is going to happen. And here in this game, no George Pickens for the Steelers, guys. The wind is whipping around in Baltimore, so it's important. I think it's important to check the weather, especially when you're thinking about taking a receiving prop. But the wind is whipping around. Expect wind gust up to, I believe, 15 to 25 miles an hour wind gust. However, I believe the tight end position is one where you can get away with it, even with the wind. So I'm not as concerned on a guy like Freiermuth because they're going to have to use him regardless. It's a negative game script for Pittsburgh. So they're going to have to throw the ball whether they want to or not. And I think Freiermuth is kind of an obvious choice for me. Just because middle of the field, a little bit less affected by the wind when you don't have to throw as much outside the numbers. So I think you'll see Freiermuth utilize there in the middle of the field. And where has Baltimore really struggled this season? It's been more in the middle of the field, right? They've allowed the 5th, or rather the 6th most yards to tight ends on the season. So this is a matchup that you typically do want to target. If you look at the passing props on both Wilson and Lamar Jackson, the projections on props that cash were like plus 51 or something like that. Because, you know, if you're just looking from a numbers perspective, you're like, oh, you got to take the overs here, right? You know, Lamar Jackson, I believe his over-under is 222.5. And I'm like, first I looked at that. I'm like, yeah, you want to, wait a minute. There's got to be something going on here. And I looked up the weather, and there's a small craft advisory tonight because the wind's whipping around so hard. So I'm like, okay, we're not going to do that. I am taking a receiving prop. But, like I said, I think this is less affected by the wind. I think Freiermuth's going to have to be used regardless in this game. Pittsburgh's likely going to be playing from behind. I think, you know, obviously the Ravens have a better, more potent running game with Henry and Jackson. I expect them to use that a lot, and I expect the Steelers at some point to really have to open up the passing game whether they want to or not. Freiermuth's kind of the obvious choice there. So, love there for number 1 pick. We got Pat Freiermuth over 35.5 receiving yards for the Pittsburgh Steelers, minus 115 odds on DraftKings. Now, probably going to get some people not loving this pick at number 2, but for our number 2 pick, we got Xavier Worthy. Anytime touchdown score here for the Kansas City Chiefs, plus 280 odds on FanDuel. I'm a big plus money guy, guys. I love plus money because you can make more money. It's simple. And for me, I am putting a full unit on this, and I'll tell you why. Last week, Xavier Worthy, 14 touches last week. He scored running the ball, so you got that going for him. He's a wide receiver that could score either catching or running the football, which I love that. He's obviously very explosive. He can score from anywhere on the field. So I love those factors that we get with Worthy. He's also been targeted a good amount in the red zone as well. Targeted 31% in the red zone this season. That's most of any Chiefs wide receivers. So that's obviously something that I like to see. I think, like I said, for the value, and in a matchup like this where the Texans allow the second most touchdowns allowed to wide receivers, they also allow a lot of yards to wide receivers. This is a good opportunity here for Worthy, once again, to find the end zone. And like I said, at plus 280, I'm going to take that. So let's look to make 3 units on this play, guys. I absolutely love this. So love it there for number 2 pick. We got Xavier Worthy, anytime touchdown here for the Kansas City Chiefs, plus 280 odds on FanDuel. Okay, at number 3, we got Xavier Worthy. Once again, over 37.5 receiving yards, minus 115 odds on MGM. Yes, I am double dipping here on Worthy. If he happens to get his yards and not his touchdown, at least we'll break even on it. But I like him to get his yards, too. Once again, 11 targets last week, guys. 6 catches, 46 yards. Didn't light it up receiving-wise, but he still cashed this over. 11 targets, though. I think if he gets 11 targets this week, he's going to be looking at 80 to 100 yards. The guy is very capable of ripping a big one, and I think this is like a dam waiting to break. I think this is obviously just a matter of time before he breaks a big one, and I'm highly expecting that in this game. Weather's pretty solid. I didn't talk about it in our last play because I was going to talk about it in this play. Upper 30s and sunny. You got C.J. Stroud, Patrick Mahomes in this game. I think we're going to see some throwing of the football in this one. Chiefs have played a lot of ugly football games this year, as we know. But I think this is where maybe we start to see the Chiefs offense start to get it together a little bit more here later in the season. And the same thing with Stroud. It's kind of been the story of both these teams. Our offenses just haven't quite gotten there. They've been close at times, but they have just, both of them have just not exploded like we expected. But I think in this game, this is a great spot for it. I really do. Love his target share lately. 7.5 targets per game over the last 4 games here for Xavier Worthy. So then once again, I think we're going to see him fly over the number. So love it there for our number 3 pick. We got Xavier Worthy over 37.5 receiving yards for the Kansas City Chiefs. Minus 115 odds on BetMGM. Okay, and finally at number 4, we're rocking with the over 41.5 points in the Texans-Chiefs game. Minus 115 odds on Fanatics. Alright, so basically everything I just said. Just summarized a little bit differently. So like I said with Patrick Mahomes and C.J. Stroud, I think this is the game where they start to really get it together. I think you're going to see both these teams score 20-plus points. I really do. It's hard for me to imagine that they don't. Like I said, Texans pass defense has struggled at times. They can see Mahomes finally start to open it up. I like the injury report on him this week. Obviously, as you know, he twisted his ankle last week. Got the report midweek that he was practicing, and then he was fine, looking like himself. That's all I needed to hear. So obviously, I think here, this game to me just breeds points. Kind of like we said in LA on Thursday. I think this specific game with C.J. Stroud and Patrick Mahomes, 2 young quarterbacks that are really becoming the faces of the NFL, I think they're going to put up more than 40 points. I just have a hunch. These aren't no scrubs out here playing quarterback, guys. 2 of the better ones that we got in the game. Even with the struggles this season, these offenses are still averaging for the Chiefs 23.5 points per game, and for the Texans 23.4 points per game. So even with the struggles that they've had, not looking top tier, they've still done enough to cash an over like this, which is kind of what I'm saying here in this game. I think even if they're not at the top of their game, I still could see them cashing this over. But I think someone's going to break out here. It's either going to be Mahomes or Stroud. We're going to see a vintage performance from one of these 2 teams, and we're going to see a lot of points. And like I said, sunny day, upper 30s. I like the weather. Both teams mostly healthy on offense. You got Nico Collins playing Tank Dell. Obviously, Stephon Diggs not playing for the Texans, but I think they got enough weapons there. And then, obviously, for the Chiefs, you got Worthy, Hopkins, Kelsey. They're fairly healthy across the board as well. So, I think they get this done. Low it there for number 4 pick. We got the over 41.5 points in the Texans-Chiefs game. Minus 115 on Fanatics. All right, guys, it's going to do it for our picks. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. We are on the road to 9,000 subscribers. Appreciate all of your guys' support, as always. We'll have our daily NBA Best Bets video in the morning, and then we'll have our NFL Sunday Best Bets video. I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to put that out. Probably Saturday night. If I had to pick a time, I think. Or maybe midday on Saturday at some point we'll release that one. So make sure you guys look for all those videos. So without further ado, though, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Drop your favorite pick down below for Saturday's slate. Let me know what you guys are playing. It's great to see you guys. Merry Christmas to y'all. Happy holidays. Happy New Year's. Great time of year. And hope you guys get some quality time with your families and are able to put this stuff on hold when you need to. So appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you all next time. Peace out.